I'm not gonna lie, the title of this video is a little crazy, but we live in a time where so many young men are struggling with dating and ultimately getting a girlfriend. With dating apps, social media, and all the conflicting advice online, it feels harder than ever to know what actually works. So in this video, I want to give you a simple guide based on my own experience, how I met my girlfriend I have today, the woman I'm planning on getting engaged to very soon, and the lessons I learned along the way that can help you find the right woman and build a relationship that actually lasts. Now, I don't want to pretend I'm some dating expert. I genuinely don't think those exist in the first place. I used to struggle with this as well. I wasn't always as confident. I overthought everything, and I definitely made mistakes. I'm still far from perfect, but today I'm in a relationship that genuinely makes me happy, and I want to share the things that made the biggest difference for me in the hope that they help you too. To start, something I used to struggle with, and I think a lot of guys do too, is putting having a girlfriend on this huge pedestal. We treat it like it's some golden trophy, like once we get a girlfriend, everything in life is going to fall into place. We'll finally be happy, we'll finally feel complete. And I get that because I used to think the same exact way. But now I'm dating an incredible woman. She's my best friend, and I genuinely can't wait to marry her one day. I absolutely love being in a relationship with her. But something I've learned and realized is she doesn't complete me. That doesn't mean she isn't incredibly important. She is. She's one of the biggest blessings in my life and will always be one of my highest priorities. But she's not everything. I'm still gonna have to work. I'm still gonna have to pursue a career. I'm still gonna have to chase the goals God has put in my heart. One day we'll hopefully have kids, and they'll be a huge priority as well, and above all of that, my relationship with Jesus is still the foundation of my life. A relationship adds to your life. It isn't supposed to become everything in your life. The reason this matters is because when you put getting a girlfriend on a pedestal, you put an unbelievable amount of pressure on every interaction you have with a woman. Every conversation feels like it has to work. Every rejection feels like your world is ending. Every date feels like you're trying to prove your worth. That's exhausting. Ironically, when you stop treating women like they're the answer to all your problems, dating actually becomes easier. You're more relaxed, you're more confident, you're more genuine because you're not desperately trying to make every interaction turn into a relationship. And beyond helping you date, it just makes you happier. I honestly believe I found the perfect woman for me. I'm incredibly thankful for her, like I've said, but even with that, she hasn't magically solved every problem in my life. I have bad days, I have responsibilities, and I have goals I still have to work towards. Again, for me personally, real fulfillment doesn't come from another person. For me, it comes from a relationship with Jesus, finding and living for my purpose on earth, and from becoming a man that I actually want to be. Again, having a relationship is great for me, but it isn't the foundation of who I am. So again, if your entire goal right now is simply to get a girlfriend, I would encourage you to change that goal. Instead, become the kind of man who's building a meaningful life. Because not only will it make you a happier person, but it'll also make you feel far more attractive and look more attractive to the kind of woman you're hoping to find. But now that we've got the right mindset, let's talk about the first actual practical step. And honestly, it's way simpler than most people make it out to be. You need to learn how to talk to women. I know that sounds ridiculously obvious, but hear me out, dude. A lot of guys I know who struggle with dating don't actually struggle because they're unattractive or because they have bad personalities. They struggle because they don't know how to talk to a girl. Maybe that's you. Or maybe you can talk to women just fine until it's a woman you're actually interested in. Then suddenly you're overthinking every word, your heart starts to race, and you try to make every sentence try to be perfect, but it's just not. If that's the case, you're never going to build a relationship because every relationship starts with one simple thing, a conversation. So start small. Seriously, as small as you can. The next time you're checking out at Target or grabbing coffee, make a little small talk with the cashier. Ask someone how their day is. Look them in the eye. Smile. Speak clearly. No, this isn't going to magically get you a girlfriend, but it's going to make talking to women feel normal instead of terrifying. Once you're comfortable with that, start conversations with women in your classes, at work, at church, or wherever you naturally meet people. Don't go into every interaction thinking this could be my future wife. Just have a conversation. Learn how to ask questions. Learn how to listen. Learn how to keep conversations going without putting all this pressure on yourself. Eventually, talking to women becomes normal, and that's the goal. Again, when I say a lot of guys can't talk to women, I don't mean that they're physically incapable of speaking. I mean that they're just so nervous they stop acting like themselves. They're worried about saying the perfect thing or trying to impress her. They're overanalyzing every little detail. Instead, just talk to her like she's another human being, because that's exactly what she is. Yes, there are some differences between talking to your guy friends and talking to someone you're interested in, but not nearly as many people think. think most of the awkwardness comes from the pressure you put on yourself. So remove that pressure. Your goal isn't to get her number 5 minutes after meeting her. Your goal isn't to make her fall in love with you. Your goal is so much more simpler than that. Just have a good conversation. Once you can consistently do that, you've built the foundation for everything else that comes with dating. But now that you've gotten comfortable talking to women, eventually, you're going to meet someone you really like. You think she's attractive, you enjoy being around her, you think she'd make a great girlfriend, and you'd be a great boyfriend for her. At that point, there's only really one thing left to do, and that's the really scary part. It's to ask her out. And trust me, I've been there. But again, I've never met somebody who's accidentally gotten into a relationship. At some point, somebody had to make the first move. Personally, I think responsibility usually should fall on the guy. I know not everyone agrees with that, but that's what I believe. I want to be the one who's pursuing. I want to be the one taking risk, and I think most guys should do that because girls just find that attractive usually. And yes, rejection is a possibility with this. Sometimes people will say no. Sometimes they'll be immature about it as well. But if you're going to date, you're going to have to accept that risk. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's doing something even though you're nervous. I still remember asking a girl out for the first time in high school. She actually said yes, but a few dates went by and things didn't work out. But looking back though, the most important part was asking her out and realizing I survived. After I'd asked one girl out, asking another one later didn't seem too terrifying. It didn't become easy overnight, but it became more normal. And that's what confidence really is. It's not about never being nervous, it's knowing you'll be okay either way. So if there's a girl you genuinely like, don't spend 6 months wondering, what if? Take your shot. Shoot it. You're Steph Curry. If she says yes, awesome. If she says no, you'll realize it was never nearly as catastrophic as it was made out to be in your mind. Now again, before you ask somebody out, you should know what you're looking for. This is where a lot of guys make mistakes. Obviously, physical attraction matters. I know some people don't like hearing that, but it's actually true. You should be genuinely attracted to the person you're dating. If you're forcing yourself to overlook that because you feel guilty, you're probably setting both of yourselves up for disappointment. Attraction only gets your foot in the door, however. Character is what determines whether the relationship will last, and also just values you have together. For me, one of the biggest values I was looking for is somebody that shared the same faith as me. I talked about that earlier, so I won't get into it again. But another thing was her personality. I'm a huge introvert. I enjoy quiet nights, meaningful conversations, and just spending time with the people I love most. So I knew I'd probably be happiest with someone who enjoyed that lifestyle too. There were other things that mattered to me as well. My views on family, long-term goals, and the kind of marriage I wanted to build, and I needed the girl to fit that bill. And I've currently found that girl like I said earlier. And your list might look completely different, and that's okay. The point is that you should actually have a list. If you don't know what you're looking for, you'll end up chasing someone who you find attractive instead of finding someone you're actually compatible with. Again, attraction matters, but it's not ultimate. Find someone you're genuinely attracted to, then make sure your values, your goals, and your vision for life actually line up. Because attraction might start the relationship, but shared values are what actually give it a chance to last. That being said, once you get a relationship or you're in a talking stage or whatever, there's one thing you for sure have to do as well, which is being intentional. And that sounds simple, but I don't think people even know what that means anymore. Here's what it means simply. If I like a girl, I'm gonna let her know I like her. I'm not gonna pretend I'm busy just so I don't have to text back too quickly. I'm not gonna listen to some generic, terrible dating advice from TikTok. I'm not gonna play games. I think that's one of the dumbest parts of modern dating. Somehow we've convinced ourselves that we have to act uninterested to gain interest. It makes no sense. If you genuinely like someone, talk to them, get to know them, ask questions, show them that you're interested in the kind of person that they are. You don't have to be overwhelming with chocolate and flowers and over romantic gestures. You just need to be honest. Get her number instead of only snapping her. Ask her on an actual date instead of hoping she'll eventually figure it out for herself. Have real conversations. Ask her about her goals, her family, her interests, and the things that matter to her. Actually listen to what she says. A healthy relationship isn't built by trying to trick someone into liking you. It's built through honesty and just normal talking. That sounds simple, but it's true. The reality is if someone loses interest because you respectfully showed genuine interest in them, they probably weren't the right person for you in the first place. The right person isn't going to get scared away because you texted back in 10 minutes instead of 3 hours. So stop worrying about the rules of dating. Stop trying to seem unavailable. Just be genuine. Because if your goal is to build a real relationship, not just impress someone for a few weeks, being authentic will always beat playing games. Now, everything I've talked about in this video can fall apart with one mistake that I think a lot of guys mess up really fast. Trying way too hard. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't put effort into dating. You absolutely should. But there's a difference between putting in effort and forcing something that's clearly not going to work. Women don't want to feel pressured into liking someone. Just like you want to find the right girl, she's trying to find the right guy. The goal is to find someone you genuinely click with. Show interest, be kind, be intentional. But if that interest isn't being returned, then move on. And I know that's easier said than done. Especially if you've been talking to the same girl for months or you haven't met someone in a long time. It's tempting to want to force it so badly. But forcing a relationship has never created a healthy one. If someone isn't interested, move on. One of the truths I've learned that helped me years ago was it only takes one. You don't need every girl to like you. You don't need 10 successful talking stages or a bunch of dates. You just need to find one person who's a good fit. I've been rejected. I've gone on dates. I've had conversations that never turned into anything. But eventually I met my girlfriend. Not because I had the perfect pickup line or I played games, but because I found someone who I was interested in and she was interested in me. Again, I still respected her. I value her. I tried a bit. I took her on dates. I wrote her little notes. I celebrated her birthdays and anniversaries and the moments that matter. Not because I'm trying to earn her love, but because I genuinely love her. And somehow she chose me. I don't know why she did, but I'm incredibly grateful for that. So if you're watching this and you're discouraged because dating hasn't worked out yet, don't give up. First off, keep improving yourself, keep putting yourself out there, keep treating people well, and when you find the right person, don't play games, just be yourself. I know that's the oldest dating advice in the book, and it sounds kind of cliche, but sometimes cliches stick around because they're true. I know dating can be frustrating, and I know it can feel like everyone else has it figured out while you're still trying to navigate it. But hopefully this gave you a few practical things you can actually apply instead of just another list of pickup tricks. Now maybe you're also thinking, okay, but how do I know if a girl actually likes me? Because that'd be really good to know. That's exactly what I cover in this next video. How to tell if a girl likes you. I'll walk through some of the biggest signs that she's interested so you don't have to keep guessing. I'll see you over there.